Wow, wow, wee, wah. Waka, waka, wow, wow, wee, wah. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Hey there, welcome back to Soundwaves Unplugged, the show where music history doesn't just talk. It cries, it sings, and sometimes wails like a funky robot with attitude. Today, we are stepping on a pedal that changed everything, the wah-wah pedal. That vowel-shaped sweep of tone is one of the most expressive tools ever jammed into a stomp box. From Jimi Hendrix melting faces at Woodstock to Slash wailing through Sweet Child of Mine to every single funky riff you can't stop bobbing your head to, that's the wah doing the talking. But where does it come from? Why does it sound like that? And who were the weird geniuses that turned a volume knob into a voice box for your guitar? Let's dive in. So let's break it down. The wah pedal is a type of filter, specifically a bandpass filter that boosts a narrow range of frequencies and sweeps it up and down depending on how you move your foot. You rock your foot forward, it emphasizes the treble. You pull it back, you get more bass. That sweeping vocal-like sound mimics the way our mouths shape vowels, hence wah wah. It works by moving a potentiometer, like a tone knob, using a foot treadle. That's right, it's literally a foot-controlled tone sweep. It's expressive, dynamic, and totally addictive. Now here's where it gets a little weird. The wah pedal wasn't invented to be funky. It was an accident. In the mid-1960s, engineers at Thomas Organ Company, makers of Vox gear in the US, were trying to design a cheaper version of the Vox amplifier. A young engineer named Brad Plunkett was tasked with replacing an expensive mid-range boost switch. He rigged up a tone circuit with a foot-controlled sweep and plugged in a guitar. And what came out was the first wah sound. Everyone's jaw hit the floor. They didn't even know what to call it. One guy said, "It sounds like saying wah wah," and boom, the name stuck. Vox quickly turned it into a product and started marketing it to trumpet players. Seriously. But it didn't take long for guitarists to realize it was pure gold. The first guitar god to plug in and go full wah was Eric Clapton, using an early Vox wah on the 1966 Cream track Tales of Brave Ulysses. But then came Jimi Hendrix, and everything changed. At Monterey Pop Festival and later Woodstock, Hendrix made the wah pedal scream, moan, cry. It was like his guitar had its own soul. According to engineer Eddie Kramer, yes, the legendary Eddie Kramer, Hendrix would tweak his wah pedal on the fly, even opening them up mid-sound check to adjust the sweep range. He had custom wired versions that were more sensitive and often stacked multiple effects in wild combinations. One legend says, Jimi Hendrix once used a wah pedal backwards, putting it after the fuzz in the signal chain instead of before. And that's how you got that angry, throaty growl on Voodoo Child's Slight Return. Tracks like Voodoo Child and Up From the Skies became holy grails of wah-wah tone. Throughout the 1970s, wah became a staple in funk and soul. Wah-Wah Watson, Isaac Hayes, Curtis Mayfield, and pretty much every track with a groove used it to add movement and stank. One of the most legendary wah stories comes from Wah-Wah Watson himself, who laid down the instantly iconic lick on Papa Was a Rolling Stone by The Temptations. According to studio lore, Watson was goofing around with a wah-wah pedal during a take, and producer Norman Whitfield heard it and yelled, "That's it! That's the whole track!" And they scrapped the original intro and rebuilt the entire song around Watson's slow-burning wah line, a sound that would define the 1970s cinematic soul forever. And let's not forget Tony Iommi of Black Sabbath. Wah went dark in metal too. In the 1980s, a new name took over, Dunlop Crybaby. Jim Dunlop licensed the design, improved reliability, and gave it a name that stuck to the pedal like Velcro. Kirk Hammett of Metallica became synonymous with wah-wah pedal drenched solos. He once joked in an interview that the wah-wah pedal was basically the fifth member of the band. In fact, Kirk has his own signature Crybaby model tuned for his personal sweep preferences. During the Black Album sessions, producer Bob Rock reportedly had to tell him to pull back on the wah. It was that constant. Now Steve Vai, ever the guitar tinkerer, had taken the wah pedal into the world of shred. He had been known to use dual wahs in series, and during his Passion and Warfare era, he integrated wah into his whammy pedal dives and volume swells, creating a sound that practically melted amps. Slash, Kirk Hammett, Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, they all adapted the Crybaby and pushed it into new territories. Metal, alt-rock, even hip-hop style guitar phrasing. There are now hundreds of wah variations, signature models, switchless models, even ones with built-in fuzz or auto wah features. But the core sound, still that vocal sweep. The wah pedal has become more than a tone. It is a statement. Some people think it's cheesy, others think it's sacred, and let's be honest, it's easy to overuse. You've heard bad wah-wah solos, we all have, but when it's used right, it's like a conversation. It's a way for the guitar to speak. From Gilmour's subtle wah touches on Echoes to Frusciante's rhythmic pulses in the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the wah is versatile, expressive, and timeless. So whether you love it, fear it, or stomped it into oblivion on your old pedal board, the wah pedal changed music. It gave the guitar a voice. It let players emote, speak, cry, scream. Now, thank you for tuning in to Soundwaves Unplugged. If you dug this dive into the funky history of the wah pedal, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and tell us in the comments what's your favorite wah-wah pedal music in ever time. Until next time, keep your tone tasty and your footwork smooth, and as always, stay unplugged.